Good morning. Welcome to the Celtic Way Morning Briefing Live. Myself and Sean have got a big smile on my face. I'm sure all the Celtic supporters have as well. First things first, we'll do it the housekeeping, Sean, and we will flag up our sponsors, One Football. Download the One Football app for all the scores, match highlights, team lines, you name it. It's all on there. Immerse yourself in the digital football world. Have the best personal experience out there. Clues in the links in the description. Just download the One Football app, guys. It's brilliant, really good app, and we thank them for their sponsorship. And running along the bottom, it's your last chance to enjoy 30-day free trial on us, supporting top quality journalism. You know what to do by now. Hit the subscribe button. Join us www.celticway.co.uk/subscribe. The offer ends tonight. Now, Sean at Sean Martin TCW Twitter handle, at Haggerty10 Twitter handle. You know the drill. Alexandro Bernabei is a Celtic player, Sean. He signed a 5-year deal. Everybody, social media, tweeting, everybody's a light and a buzz with it. They seem to be really excited about this guy coming in. He's already given an interview to Celtic TV. He seems genuinely delighted and buzzing and happy to be here, the way it should be with any new signing, Sean. Are you happy that that's one in the door? And it's a very early announcement from Celtic.
It is, which makes me wonder if there's something else on the horizon today, Tony. Not that I'm in for conspiracy theories, but come on. No, I'm happy with that. I think he spoke very well on the Celtic TV interview. Obviously, my Spanish isn't great, but the subtitles were good. But no, it's a good sign. It's a good thing to wake up to. It's
Yes.
You love it when a plan comes together, Tony?
Indeed.
Fourth signing of the summer. Sorry, after Dyson Maeda, Cameron Carter-Vickers, and Benjamin Siegrist, with at least another couple on the horizon. I'm buzzing to get that depth chart refreshed in the next few days, I'll tell you.
The depth chart, indeed. Now, we spoke to Juan Arango last week, and we did a podcast, and he kind of filled us in on the kind of player he is, Sean. And I think the Celtic supporters are going to be in for a treat. It is exciting times, isn't it? Refreshing the squad and seeing new players coming in. And Kookaburra comes in there, hail Alexandro, indeed. He's young and ambitious, and he should be excited. And as you said there, he did speak very well for a 21-year-old. And they're tipping him for big things. I don't want to put any undue pressure on him, but we'll see what happens in the fullness of time. But he's here for a reason, and just scouted him, and he hasn't put a foot wrong in the transfer market so far.
No, I mean on the transfer itself, there's a few things. Obviously, Lanús confirmed the agreement first, actually, well in advance of Celtic.
Yeah, 4 in the morning, 3 in the morning. They confirmed it. Yeah,
they confirmed it via a statement. Celtic obviously posted a video with a wee nod to the now ubiquitous Ange Postecoglou phone call. Didn't seem like he answered, to be honest. So he's obviously phoned Siegrist and hung up, and then he's been snubbed by Bernabei. So before properly announcing it, and when they did properly announce it, obviously that was a good Thursday morning call for everybody of a Celtic persuasion, wasn't it? Now, first things first, it's historic. He's going to be the first ever Argentinian to be a fully fledged member of the Celtic first team, which feels mental given the size and scope of Celtic in the club's history. It's a 5-year deal too, which is a big vote of confidence and offers Celtic a wee bit of protection if he goes on to hit the heights that they expect him to. Two, the announcement from Lanús confirmed that they retain a 10% sell-on clause. Now, it doesn't mention if this is on the total price of his next move or the profit Celtic make on it, but nonetheless, 10% is agreeable, wouldn't you say, considering some of the other deals that have got going?
Yeah, well, when you consider there's supposed to be a 30% sell-on clause with the Jota deal, I mentioned the J word there, Sean. I think I got away with it. But yeah, 10% clause is quite, as you say, it's more than agreeable. And you also put out a tweet saying, Sean, he will wear the number 25 shirt.
Yes.
No pressure on the young boy then. Following the footsteps of Lubomir Moravchik and Shunsuke Nakamura, two former heroes of Celtic and players that are well lauded and well respected and well loved.
Mm-hmm. And Oliver Burke, I suppose, but you can't win them all. You know what? I like my squad number history, Tony. As you know, you put a wee quiz on that subject on the website a couple of weeks ago. I'll put the link in the comments for that in case anybody wants to get a wee go. You get, what was it, 10 out of 10, Tony? You claimed.
I did, yes. In fact, I did. I guessed one or two of them, but they were educated guesses. But yeah, have a go at that, guys. It's brilliant. Yeah. I was quite chuffed at myself, but that's the thing. I always thought if I say that, nobody will believe me. But there you go.
Yeah, okay. I believe you. Thousands wouldn't after your performance when the quiz versus Alison on here.
And that's why after my performance in the quiz live on the pod, I thought, he's at it. But maybe it was because I had I was in the mastermind chair and I felt the pressure. Down, you know, that kind of thing. So away from the lights, I'm a better player away from the lights. But there you go. No, but on you go. Sorry.
No, sorry. What were you going to say?
No, I'm just saying that there's a real kind of excitement about the Celtic supporters now. You see Twitter and social media awash with happy people. You know, they just love it when new players come in, but they are particularly excited about where Bernabei can go and his talent. You know, having watched him, I mean, the highlights package and showreel that they put in was excellent. It looked excellent, and he looks as if he will add to the team. And as I say, you trust the manager. Celtic have done their due diligence on this, and we welcome him to the club, Sean.
Yep. Another kind of aspect that I noticed was that there was no mention from either club yet about his suspension, Tony, and whether it will carry over or not. Though, as anybody who subscribes to our daily newsletters, and I'll put the link in the comments, it's free, by the way, will know it is likely to carry over if he was registered before Linus played enough games. Now, the phrase that Celtic used was subject to international clearance, which will include things like, work permit, all that kind of stuff. But it will also, I think, refer to the FIFA International Transfer Certificate, which I went down a rabbit hole looking at the other day for that newsletter. So basically that is a document, essentially, that the Argentine FA lodge with FIFA and the Scottish FA pick up at the other end, and that will, in all likelihood, note that he's serving a ban, which will then mean that he's got to serve it here. Now, the actual wording that I found from FIFA on that was that any disciplinary action up to 4 matches or up to 3 months that has been imposed by the former association, which will be the Argentine FA in this case, but not yet entirely served by the time of the transfer, shall be enforced by the new association, which will obviously be Scottish FA at domestic level. So it could miss the first game or the first 2 games, depending on how long the ban was. I couldn't actually find a notice of that from the Argentine FA. It's not a massive deal, don't get me wrong, as long as Greg Taylor's fit anyway, but it's something to keep an eye out for, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, and as you mentioned as well, Sean, the Ange Postecoglou phone call, and he said, I spoke to the manager and he said he believed in me and my quality and that I can adapt to the team quickly, and he's just excited. He can't wait to play Champions League football. He thinks the stadium's incredible, and he's heard the people are crazy. He ain't heard nothing yet, has he, Sean?
The crazy bit got me.
I thought if an Argentine is saying he's heard that Scottish fans are crazy, then that's something, isn't it? Because Argentine fans are passionate themselves.
Yeah, aye. As Juan Arango told us, like it will be a culture shock in the sense, obviously, moving to a new city, new language, getting used to new teammates, the pressure of having to win trophies all the time. But in terms of an almost fanatical element to the support, he will have seen stuff like that. He'll experience it to a certain degree. I still maintain, obviously there's biases in this, but I still maintain it isn't something you can prepare for at all coming into this so-called Goldfish Bowl. But nonetheless, I took Juan's point that there was a certain level of preparation that he's kind of going through in his life already for that. We've already did a few comments to this effect, Tony, that he should come straight in and take Taylor's place right away. Yeah, I mean, you could make the argument that is the intent longer term anyway. I'm more with Andrew. He's channeling me here that Taylor deserves his spot anyway just now. Yeah. Might be a moot point if that suspension thing bears fruit, but nonetheless, I think Rab's comment here, Patrick McLaughlin's comment, I'll put Rab's up in a minute, is exactly my view on it. Two players for every position in any case.
Yeah. Well, I think Alison highlighted that it was going to be an intense period right up to November when the World Cup kicks off. There's a lot of games there. I think it was 23, 24 seemed to be the number. Is that right, Sean? Including a whole Champions League group stage campaign.
It was 30, 35 if they get to the league, the next round of the League Cup. That's what it was. It was the extra game.
Right, okay.
In 104 days, I think.
Well, that's an intense schedule, isn't it? That's pretty grueling. So you'll need your squad for that. So regardless of whether it's Taylor or Bernabei, he's been brought in for a reason, Sean. He's a good footballer and he's clearly a good person. His aunt signs good people too. So you can bet your bottom dollar that'll be a battle for that right back slot and left back slot, and that's a good thing. It can only be a good thing for the club moving forward.
Yeah, sorry, I think I said 34 there. I did mean 24. You were right with 24. I think I got a wee bit excited there.
35 in the 100 and odd days. I was like, that's a game every 3 days.
No, it's 24 and 105. From July the 31st to November the 12th, I think, is the last scheduled game. So it is intense. And Patrick's comment, this is why I want to refresh my depth chart. I'm kind of waiting on the Jota one so that I can put him in it, but I will be getting it refreshed over the next few days, regardless of the Jota situation. So,
are you trying to tell me that we alluded to that this early announcement might be the precursor to another announcement later today, Sean? Is that what you're saying?
Let's get the tinfoil hats off, but you never know. I mean, it is a very early announcement for Celtic. They annoy me by their 6:30 announcements and stuff. So
Friday?
Yeah, 6:30 on Friday. Although I'm off this Friday, Tony, so that'll be all on you.
Yeah. Yes, indeed, it will be all on me, and I'm can't wait for that. Not crumbling
just
under
in
the
case
pressure.
You're listening, Celtic Twitter admin.
I'll be crumbling under the weight and pressure of everything, including the wardrobe, when you go off tomorrow. Joe Hamilton says this boy's going to be massive. Did you see the comment from Rab McEwen to flick up as well?
Yeah, just kind of taking stock of the way they're going about their business. Backup keeper, another left back, Carter Vickers signed, and then maybe a couple of other positions that he mentions there: left-footed centre back, centre mid, Jota, and potentially another striker. I think that would constitute the perfect window, really.
It wouldn't.
I've said to you before, there is no such thing, but that would be damn close to it.
Yeah, of course it would. But I agree with the retro Celtic that the team's starting to take some kind of shape now and go the way. And if you've been watching the daily Lennox Town briefings on training, the players seem to be in a happy mood, Sean. Seem to all be getting down to it again and pleased to be back.
Yeah, we spoke about Julien yesterday. He was obviously there that first day, and then it's been a couple of days since he's not there now. But the good thing is, and this always happens in pre-season, is that there's a certain amount of youth players will get their chances to train with the first team. And Ange Postecoglou said that happens during the season anyway, that people will come up and go back down and different things, and that's how he likes to see them. But pre-season, and Owen Brown actually did a column for us a few weeks ago, earmarking 3 players that, if the stars align, could potentially make something of a breakthrough in pre-season if they get their chances, especially at this stage where the international players are still away. So it's always interesting. The first game of pre-season will be interesting as well. I don't quite know how we're going to do a predicted lineup for that, to be honest.
But we're going to have to. But Bernabei also said he can't wait to get started, Sean. He'll be buzzing today for
well, and he's already however many games 11 is it into the season, 9 into the season. So he is actually in a good position. He's got a wee head start here on his competition.
I'd like to see him in the bleep tests and the sprints. I'm sure he'll be outstripping everybody, which would be good to see. But yes, indeed.
Getting flashbacks, PTSD from the bleep tests.
But as you say, I think everybody of a Celtic persuasion woke up this morning and they're just delighted to see that news, and it's obvious that they want the next one, don't they, Sean?
Yeah, we're kind of jesting, obviously, that this is an early announcement, so it means that Jota is imminent, but the daily Jota's got to be updated in some way. So
yeah, and we saw tweets yesterday from Ebola saying that it would be announced today. Even they went as far as saying it should be announced today, Sean. Jota on a 4-year deal,
that was a report. I've actually, just as an aside, I've put our scouting report on Alexandro Bernabei in the comments, because not only did we have the One Arango chat, which I'll also put in the comments, to be honest, that's a YouTube video, but we have an in-depth scouting report from Rithwick, our scouting writer. So basically, there's plenty to get your teeth into with us when it comes to Bernabei. But to come back to your point there, Tony, about Jota and the report that he might sign today, yeah, obviously we were jesting a bit about that, but I've seen that last couple of days a few comments about the Portuguese window not being open yet, etc. And that's like, as far as I know, Tony, that is irrelevant because Scotland have been able to register players since June the 10th, which is when the Carter Vickers deal was announced. Now, obviously, the June the 30th and the July the 1st kind of thing has a significance in the sense that Jota's loan deal technically expires on June the 30th. The new season officially begins in Portugal on July the 1st. But ultimately, whether the window opens in Portugal or not is irrelevant because it's open in Scotland, so it can get registered here.
Yes.
So, yeah, I think there could obviously be, we kind of discussed off camera yesterday, there could be other reasons for Celtic to wait until July the 1st. For instance, registering it as a transfer for next season officially, for instance. But yeah, the fact that the Portuguese registration window isn't open shouldn't be a massive factor in that.
Yes, indeed. That's handy to know and possibly enlightening for a lot of the viewers and commenters. Keep your comments coming in, guys. Lots of positivity surrounding the programme today, and we're all in favour of that, aren't we, Sean? We like,
what was this, Tony?
We like a new signing, don't we? We like a new signing.
I've noticed there's a kind of mini conversation going on here in the comments about Vinicius Souza. I've actually noticed Sky reporting today, it was on a report from Anthony Joseph, that Ajax are now apparently interested in Vinicius Souza, so that could throw a massive spanner in the works if Celtic are indeed interested.
Yes, indeed. I saw that myself this morning, Sean. Yeah, but it's always the case. If fans want him and he wants to come, then he'll be a Celtic player, won't he? It's up to, he works wonders on the phone, Sean.
Yep,
our manager, he's a smooth talker down that telephone wire. So excellent.
As I said, didn't even need to say anything to Seagrist. just phoned him and he went, "Oh, it's Ange, right? That's me out to Celtic."
I can't wait for our personal phone calls from Ange, Sean. Yeah. Some of I don't think they'll be asking us to sign, but there you go. Glorious future behind me. It's all there, you know what I mean? So, as they say. But no, it's listening. I think everybody's really upbeat about today, and I say we are jesting about Jota, but that would cap off a wonderful day if Jota was announced, John, wouldn't it?
Yep. Well, if he happens to be announced, you can probably find us back here frantically on the channel later on.
Indeed, but say Juan Arango gave us an idea about Alexandro Bernabei, and he was talking about how he likes to get forward and he likes a goal or two because he's got a sweet left foot. I mean, all of these things we've seen in the highlights reel, and yeah, we did see the side of him where he motioned his head towards the other player, which now leaves us in suspense about his possible suspension, but we will wait and that will come out in the wash. But you seem to think that it might be Aberdeen and Ross County possibly, Sean, yeah? Until
it
that's
depends,
clarified.
Because as I say, I really went down a rabbit hole. I even looked up Football Manager league rules just to see if they gave me an insight, but there was I couldn't find a section that told me how long he had been suspended for. The assumption is it's 3 matches, but that's not necessarily the case because it's not really marked. So yeah, if it is 3 matches, he's served 1. Assuming he is registered for Celtic before they play tonight, then he would have to serve 2. But yeah, the suspension by all accounts should carry over. But as I say, it's nothing to get too worked up over. As long as Greg Taylor's fit, you still get the starting left back from last season there anyway. So yeah, it's nothing major.
And you'll always champion Greg Taylor, won't you? So
well, to a certain extent, Tony. As I say, it depends.
Until the hand is forced by Bernabei, is that what you're saying?
That's it, basically.
You've always said that players that come in have to be better, or an upgrade. Time will tell if Bernabei's an upgrade. But a 5-year deal, Sean, you don't see many of them kicking about, do you? You touched on
but it's good, and it ties in the. Do you remember I done the kind of assessment of all the fringe players just after the season finished? And that was the graphic that I referred to before about the contract situation at Celtic. And with the exception of Turnbull and Hart from the kind of main players last season, they were 2024. Everybody was 2025 or later, some 2026 and stuff. So it really, really bodes well for Celtic that really there's no main players that are looking as if they're going to be out of contract. Whether they leave or not is a different matter, but if they're under contract for a fair few years, like Bernabei is now, if he does well enough and he does want to move on, which Juan Arango told us probably is the long-term plan, he's 21, that takes him up to his 26, a 5-year deal. You're laughing, because if he does as well as they're expecting, a 10% sell-on clause isn't that much in the grand scheme of things.
No.
And a 5-year deal allows Celtic to ask for a lot of money. So, yeah, I think it makes sense. I think it's good.
It's a win-win, isn't it, really, for Celtic?
Yep.
Now, there you go. You can always tell when a footballer's going to sign for your club, Sean. The Retro Celtics nailed it. Jota being spotted outside IKEA and Braehead as their furniture sale starts today. There you go. But wardrobes and everything, you know the score. So... but I guess I think that would be the icing on the cake for Celtic supporters over the next couple of days, Sean. Thursday or Friday, if Jota were to be announced.
Yeah, I mean, there are reports saying that he is in Glasgow. There's a few saying in the comments that that's the case. But yeah, I mean, think of when the reputed Bernabei picture in Glasgow Airport came out and when he actually signed and stuff. Wait for the announcement now, I would say. But it's good. It does bode well. But
to be fair, Jota's been everywhere. So it could be stock pictures of Jota in Glasgow or San Francisco or wherever. He's been on the kind of...
Tony, the IKEA mention has prompted the usual discussion about your wardrobe again. I despair. I
despair too. Today's all about one man and one man only. It's Alexandro Bernabei, the first Argentine to play for Celtic. I do find that, like yourself, Sean, I find snippets like that very interesting.
Yeah.
It's a history-making signing, and here's hoping the boy lives up to his billing and makes history with the club.
Rob McEwen trying to make what he probably thinks a safe bet, Tony, that Celtic win the Champions League. We will all, he's roping everybody else into it. We will all get Tony's wardrobe tattooed on us. Hey lads.
I think you'll not be worrying Terry, tattoo artist, very soon. Rab, if you remember Terry, tattoo artist, very famous tattoo artist in Glasgow. I don't think anybody will be troubling or beating a path to Terry's tattoo artist door anytime soon.
I suppose we'll end on this. Pete McGee says he's after a wardrobe like Tony's. I think we all know there is only one Tony wardrobe.
Was that a song? One Tony wardrobe? There's only one Tony wardrobe. Guys, it's been a pleasure. Sean really enjoyed that. I guess it's heightened by the fact that, as the Retro Celtic said earlier, you can see the team starting to take shape.
Yeah.
The season's nearly upon us. We're nearly at pre-season friendly games, and there's just a lot of excitement around. Dare we say it? Announce Jota! I think the Celtic supporters will be in tenterhooks for the next couple of days in the hope that that's the next one to come through the famous Parkhead doors. We'll see.
Yeah.
Again, that'll come out in the fullness of time. But Sean's put up the links to everything there. And as you can see, running along the bottom, today's your last chance. You can try the Celtic way for 30 days free on us, covering top quality journalism. Club you love, you know the drill. Hit that subscribe button, www.celticway.co.uk/subscribe. The offer ends tonight. Download the One Football app as well. We thank them for the sponsorship. Links in the description. And Sean, we enjoyed that today. It's been good. We should sign players every day, I think. What's your thoughts on that?
Class. Thanks for your comments, guys. As always, cheers, Tony.
No problem. I'm away to polish the wardrobe. Well, whatever. Burn it, I think, because it's taking up too much time in the briefings. But there you go. Guys, thanks a lot. We appreciate it. And we'll see you. Well, I'll see you tomorrow.
I'll see you tomorrow too. I'm just off the rest of the
day. We'll both see you tomorrow. All right. Take care. Enjoy it. And welcome to the club, Alexandro. Hope it works out well for you.
Cheers, guys. Cheers, Tori.